All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and as part of the Rankin Technical College AWD 1000 Web Development Technologies course, I've been creating a series of video presentations that are based on the PowerPoint slides for one of the textbooks for the class, that being, as you can see on the screen, Murach's JavaScript and jQuery 4th edition, and I'm up to Chapter 19, the last chapter, how to work with Node.js. We get an intro to Node, how to use the Node command, how to work with Node modules, and how to use NPM to install modules. Now, Node is, for lack of better words, kind of the hallmark or highlight of the AWD 1111 database-driven, websites, I think it's called, class. All right. So this is just an introduction. So if a lot of stuff doesn't make sense here, you really and truly shouldn't let it bother you. All right. So let's just jump in. How to work with Node.js. Here's our applied objectives and the beginning of our knowledge objectives. More knowledge objectives. Okay. All right. Now, a couple things I want to mention. Yeah, this is the website. Let's go out to it. So let's go out. I'm going to close a bunch of this stuff that I opened up in the last lecture. All right. So the first thing is let's go out to nodejs.org. Okay. Now, can't go much of any place because that's it. So when you want to download Node, this is where you go. And it should recognize the type of computer you're using. Again, in this program, we're all using Windows machines. And the recommendation for this class, the AWD 1000, and really, I guess for both classes, the AWD 1111 class, is choose the LTS version. LTS is long-term support. So this is the one that's been tested. This is the current one. Has got a lot of new features in it and could be problematic. Probably wouldn't be, but could be. So if you click on there, it's going to basically load an executable file right here. And I'm going to do that with you in class. In fact, let's see. I'm just wanted to check and see right now. Let's see. How do I do this? It doesn't matter what I use here. So I'm just going to I'll open up this. Right mouse click on it, choose a git bash, and I want to just see what version I'm currently running. So you say node -v, 14.17.0, and I actually downloaded that probably about 2 weeks ago, something like that. And if you look right now, whoops, the newest one that's actually out there right now is 14.17.2. So you can see there have been a couple minor revisions to it already. All right, we will go through and download this, etc., and go through all this stuff as a class. All right. So when do you use Node.js? Well, as it says right there, you use Node.js when you want to be able to interactively test JavaScript expressions and statements. That's the first thing. We're actually going to use something called a REPL in here in just a minute. Second, you use it when you want to use JavaScript to write applications that run outside of a web browser. All right. Third, you use JavaScript to write server-side scripts. What Node.js does more than anything else is it allows you to use JavaScript on both the client side and on the server side. All right. So the install is really pretty simplistic. You click on that button that's there. It basically puts an executable in the system. All right. And then you just click through, and anything that comes up, just choose the defaults. That's it. So now 2 things on here. You noticed, or maybe you noticed, that I came out to here and I was running this right inside of a project, which is totally fine to do. But I just want to mention to you that, and this is how I run it, but a lot of people instead, what they do is they bring up their Visual Studio Code So notice I've got it up here. I don't even know which, this has been a while. I don't even know what this exactly is running right now. But the point is, I can either click terminal here, new terminal, and bring it up there. And I'm running a PowerShell terminal. And I can also go and type in, I think is it view terminal? View terminal. And those will both bring it up. All right, so anything that I just was able to do, like node minus v, I can do it there too. So if you're more comfortable splitting your screen and running it like this, then that's what you should do. All right, far be it from me to say you should do it this way or you should do it that way. All right. So how do you start the command prompt? Well, as it says there, if you want to get in basically where you're running, I think this is how you're running REPL. All right. And we don't spend very much time on REPL. And it's once we start here, you're going to understand why. But if I just come in here, let's make this bigger. And I type in node, okay, I'm in there. So for example, if I put 34 times 12 and hit enter, it gives me the answer. I didn't even have to hit enter. 56 divided by 17. Notice I get that right away. All right. So if I want to get out of this, I can just put in .exit. But I can also, I think it also will take Control C, I believe, or Control break. Control C it was. It says to exit, press Control C again, or Control D, or type exit. So another Control C got me out. Let's clear it, and let's try it one more time. Will a Control D get me out right away? Yes, it will. So you can either type .exit, Control C twice, which is kind of seems like a waste, or Control D. Now, notice there's a .help in there. And that shows you, and it'll come up, but these are all the different types of commands, etc., that you can run. Oh, it says it's not recognized. Oh, I'm not in Node yet, that's why. Now if I type in .help. There. These are the major commands that you would use most of the time. Okay? All right. Let's just continue on. I showed you the exit already. And I showed you how you can put in simple expressions. As it says, you can create constants. You can actually write little mini programs in here if you want to. All right, for instance, I should be able to come in here and do something like this. So let's clear. Let's clear, and we'll node, and let number 1 equal 17. Let number 2 equal 12. Let sum equal number 1 plus number 2. You see it says undefined because we haven't done anything with it yet. Let diff equal number 1 minus number 2. Let prod equal number 1 times number 2. And let quote equal number 1 divided by number 2. And I guess I could even put in to be complete. Let rem equal number 1 modulo number 2. All right, they're all saying undefined because they're not returning anything. Okay, now can I do this? Alert. Sum equals, in fact, why don't we just do it this way? Use our backticks and we'll say sum equals, let's do it the other way. How about this? 17 plus, no, we'll even do it this a better way. Number 1 plus number 2 equals, equals sum. All right, it says alert is not defined. Can I log it then? Well, we got number 1. It's saying 12 plus 12. I don't know why it's not saying 17, but it's not. But it is giving the right result. Let's just see if we do it that way, what comes up. Like that. Why it's saying 12 first, I'm not positive. But it is holding the right answer. The point is this, I wouldn't use it for this anyway, but you can. How's that? We could have put in the stuff that they're showing, and I'm not going to do that, but you get the idea. Yeah, as it says, you can put in a for loop. Now they do, okay, console.log works. Yeah, and again, I'm sure there's a very logical reason. It thinks they're both 12. Well, that's correct. And that's what it should do. I don't know why it didn't do it the first time. All right, but somehow it went and rewrote it. All right, so again, we could use a for loop in here. No biggie. All right, what I've been showing you is REPL. REPL is short for read, eval, print, loop. It's, for lack of better words, when you use Node, kind of like a DOS console type of thing, or a DOS command window. Okay. All right. Now I'm looking at this, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab every bit of this. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do the following. I am going to go into here and I'm going to close this. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to add a new folder that I'm going to call Node Demo. All All right, I'm not going to put anything in it for right now, but I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do a file. In fact, let's do it this way. Open with code. Hopefully that's the only thing now that's open in here is this node demo. Good. All right, then I'm going to come into here and I'm going to create a new file called index.js, and I'm going to paste in, that's the same stuff that we had from before. It's from the text. All right, and I'm going to do a file save. Now, to run this, I'm going to go in and do a terminal, new terminal, and I'm going to say node followed by the name of the file. I can either say index.js or just index, because either way, it assumes we're working with a JavaScript file. Now, investment amount 10,000, there it is. Rate 7.5, there it is. Year is 10. And it does the actual future value for us. See that? We could have even come in here and put a percent sign, make it look a little nicer. And we could have done this. Let's see. Dot to fixed 2. Don't know if it'll take it like that or if that has to be in here. It probably has to be in here. And we'll add a manual $sign there. See what that looks like. Well, isn't that interesting? Well, I didn't save though. Didn't put any of my stuff here in. The investment, it did put that in, and it did do it to 2 decimal places. Oh, that should have been a percent sign. And this, I could have put a $sign onto this as well. So let's save that. Let's clear this, and let's run it again. A little nicer. It's got the percent sign, etc., all the other stuff in there. All right, the point is that we are running a JavaScript and we are not running it from within the browser. All right, we are running it from within Node. And the key thing to realize with this, I mean, it's kind of an ugly output, but we have no HTML on here whatsoever. We're running just straight JavaScript. All right. Whoops. All right, and I showed you how to run that, so that's good. Here's one, as it says, that accepts arguments. We could put that in, and if we don't put stuff in, it'll just exit out, and that's okay. And in this case, we'd have to provide arguments for it. Okay. Now, let's stop right here. We're about halfway through the chapter, and we'll pick it up in the next iteration.